Alrighty, y'all. So we are back. Hopefully this time I did some testing and hopefully the audio is actually fine this time around. But I've seen a lot of people complaining about a character's favorite item. Yes, this is about the favorite items. We're taking a look at them. I haven't seen anything about any of the favorite items. I just know that apparently Milk has been shafted beyond belief. So we're going to take a look at all the favorite items today, review them all, and see what they are for the new characters being Miranda, Helm, Drake, and then also Milk. I'm gonna say Milks for last. We're just gonna go in order here. So let's see first off what Miranda ended up getting, which is I guess different from what she had before. On phase 1, affects all ally units with the highest attack except caster, includes the caster if there's not enough allies. Increased attack by 40% for 10 seconds and critical damage for 56 for 40% for 10 seconds, and then critical damage by 56% for 10 seconds. I feel like that was good. So what did she get now? Right? Okay, so now it's 2 allies, which is even better. So that's very good. And that's the burst skill, right? That's just very good burst skill in general for 2 allies with the highest attack. I feel like it's very good now for the burst skill of Miranda, like guaranteed, right? Second skill, before it used to activate at the beginning of a full burst, affects all allies, crit damage increased by 33% for 10 seconds basically. Now when you enter the full burst, all allies still get that part, but they added a lot more, where when you enter the full burst, affects self, crit rate and attack damage increase, crit rate being 30% for 10 seconds, attack damage being 23% for 10 seconds, and then activates when entering full burst, affects one ally unit with the highest attack except caster, includes the caster if there's not enough allies, crit rate increased by, oh, that's so good. That's so good. Especially for characters like Snow White, where you kind of want them to like, what's it called? Like just have that crit increase in crit rate for 85% for 1 round. That's good for any AoE characters like Scarlet and them who just do AoEs. That's so good for like characters like, that's just very good. I feel like it's very, very good right there. So already looking good there. And that was skill 2. Now skill 1, before she just gave hit rate for 5 seconds by 5% every 30 normal attacks that affected all allies. And then for just the submachine gun characters, now if you don't know, this was a buff they added into the game like a year ago. So they buffed on Miranda a year ago and added that line of text where submachine gun characters get hit rate by 3.79% for 5 seconds. They added that. Now they still have it the same for both of them. It's the same thing, 30 5 seconds 5 seconds, but now after landing 30 normal attacks, affects self, attack damage increased by 50% for 5 seconds. So they kind of made it like a little sub DPS, I feel like, which is okay, because what was Miranda? Is Miranda even an attacker? If she's an attacker, I feel like that's good, right? Miranda, where are you? We're here. What were you, an attacker? You were a supporter, so why? I mean, I feel like it's okay, but they kind of just changed her into a sub DPS. But I think her supports are still very good. Let's see Helm though. Helm is who I am very excited for. So Helm before just used to give on her skill 1 crit rate of normal attack to all allies when the last bullet hit the target for 5 seconds, 14.64% at level 10. It's the exact same thing, right? But now, when attacking with a full charge, affects all allies, recovers 0.59% of caster's final max HP, and fills burst gauge by, oh my god, what? By 14.31%. So they made Helm very, very good right there with that first skill. Now she's healing guaranteed. Every full charge, she's healing all allies guaranteed. That makes her 10 times better. All right, and then obviously the burst gauge filling, very good. Already Helm is looking to be very, very like meta again. She's gonna come back. Skill 2, affects all allies, damage and interruption parts increased by 3% permanently. Activates when entering full burst, all allies get an attack damage buff by basically 12% for 10 seconds. Now it's the exact same thing on the first part. And then the second part changes from 11.85% to 27.87%. Which is very good because that's just a skill passive. And when I did my predictions, I said to increase that up, right? Very good. And then also now activates when hitting a target with a full charge, affects target, deals 178, basically 179% of final attack as additional damage. Helm is looking very good now. What? Okay, and then her burst skill did 1,200 and 37% of final attack as damage to the enemy with the highest attack, and affected all allies, just healed them over time for 10 seconds. Now that jumped up to 8,000%. And then she still recovers HP, but affects self-charge damage multiplier increase. Oh my god. Charge damage multiplier increased by 158.4% for 10 rounds. Oh my god. They made Helm cracked. Yo, they made Helm cracked. Mind you, Helm is an Elysion character. Miranda's an Elysion character, so that's already a big buff. To Elysion is already cooking up 2024. Like, deadass Elysion has already been cooking, or 2025, my bad. 2025 Elysion has been eating it up, right? With Raffi, Helm, Miranda so far. Helm so far is looking the best out of the two we've looked at. Drake, I'm so happy for Drake. Let's see. So Drake ended up going from hit rate and attack by 11.85% for 10 seconds at the beginning of a full burst, affects all allies, to still having that, but the hit rate is now 20%. And then when you enter a full burst, this is only for shotgun characters, an attack buff of 63.88% for 10 seconds, and then ammo capacity increased by 50%. So she's back on shotgun meta. They literally just made her a shotgun meta sub DPS again. Like that's what that is right there in skill 1. Very good. Skill 2. Before, after 10 attacks, affected 3 enemy units with the lowest remaining HP, just deal 98.55% of final attack as damage. Now, after 10 attacks, it's the same thing, but after 5 normal attacks, affects 1 enemy with the lowest remaining HP, she deals 208%, or 201% of final attack as damage. So, yeah, I mean, against bosses on the shotgun team, this character is looking crazy already, because shotgun has a lot of good supports too. Shotgun has very good supports. Like, the shotgun character, the shotgun team has all the supports they need to actually make shotgun characters go crazy. So now, with being this crazy sub DPS, very, very good character in my opinion, right? Already. Burst skill went from 1,254% on enemies within attack range of final attack of damage, and then also for herself increased max ammo capacity by 72.18% for 10 seconds. Now it went up to 3,009%, and it's the same thing as 72.18%, but now also gives herself an attack damage of 31.68 buff for 10 seconds. They made Drake like just a tad bit better. Not tad bit. I feel like they made her just better, but she's just stronger. I don't feel like a change in Drake. I just feel like they made her just stronger. I feel like Miranda and especially Helm. I feel like Helm, out of all these characters so far, got the biggest change. I feel like Drake, they just made her very more powerful, which is good. And then Miranda, they made her more useful. Like, with Miranda's new favorite item kit, I would definitely use her as like a go-to burst 1 for sure. And then Milk. So I heard a lot of people complaining about this. Let's see. I'm very nervous. Okay, so for Milk, for 2 allies with the highest attack, this is what? Okay, every 20 seconds this activates. Attack increased by 31.83% for 10 seconds, right? Now, every 20 seconds, affects 3 ally units with the highest attack, gives an attack buff of 31.83% for 10 seconds. Activates at the start of battle. Affects self. Cooldown for bursts skill is dropped by 20 seconds continuously. So now she's on a 20-second cooldown, guaranteed. I think she was on a 40 before, but now she's on the 20-second cooldown. And I believe she's a burst 1. So literally the first skill is the same thing, but now it's just for 3 allies rather than 1 ally. Okay, so they didn't do much there. This part right here, her second skill, activates when HP is above 80%, affects all allies. Crit damage increased by 11.13% permanently. It's the exact same thing again on skill 2, but now when attacking with a full charge for 10 times, all allies have their cooldown of burst. So she has CDR just reduced by 2.83 seconds. What is she? What's her weapon? Sorry. Just before I get back to Milk, what is Milk's weapon? She's a sniper. Okay. So why wouldn't they just give her the Rouge and freaking Killer D Wife effect? Why is it 2 seconds for 10 when Rouge and D Killer Wife have 7 seconds for 8? I don't feel like that's fair, but sure, whatever. Okay, and then her burst skill deals 367% final attack as damage, and then that was to the enemy with the highest defense, and then affected all allies. She just recovered 16.16% of attack damage as HP for over 10 seconds. Now her burst skill is the same thing. This time it's all the same, but now HP potency is increased by 75% for 10 seconds. What? Okay, but now she's on a 20-second cooldown as well. So that's it. She's on a 20-second cooldown. So that's happening every burst. She's garbage. I'm confused. What was this change? That's so shameful because Milk was one of the worst characters in the game. Like, I'm telling you, Crow was more talked about than Milk. That's how irrelevant Milk was, right? And I think it's so funny how what they're doing is they literally just change the wording of these skills for making it seem like it's different. Like here, right? And this one says affects the enemy with the highest defense, and then they change it to affect one enemy unit with the highest defense. That's the same thing, just now they just specified it as one, even though that was as clear as day before. And then all they gave was HP potency here. This is the exact same thing, but now it's for one extra ally. And then obviously she becomes a 20-second cooldown burst 1 character. And then her skill 2 is the exact same thing again, but then she has CDR at 2.83 seconds for 10 full charge attacks that affects all allies. When you have Milk and, not Milk, D and Rouge, by the way. Look what Rouge does. Rouge freaking has, it's like maximum 7 seconds at level 10, but for 8 normal attacks full charge, she heals or gives max HP, and then also has a 7-second. Like, what did they do with Milk? Milk got butchered. Everybody else got, like, Jesus touched everybody else, right? Jesus touched Helm. Helm has the best one. I feel like Helm easily has the best one. I feel like this is a meta character again. Burst gauge filling, you heal now with every full charge. Very good. The attack damage buff is very good. Entering a full burst, getting an attack damage buff of 27.87% for 10 seconds. Very good. The additional damage she's doing is still very, very good as well. And that's for every full charge she's doing that additional damage. Very, very, very powerful now. And then again, the healing is the exact same thing, but the charge damage multiplier is increased when you use her burst skill. Again, very good, especially since her second skill now has that, where she is dealing 180 or 78% of final attack, including the multiplier. Like, it's just crazy. They made Helm easily the best out of them. I would say it's Helm, then Miranda, then Drake, then Milk. Or I would switch Miranda and Drake, but I feel like Miranda actually got a good buff. Milk, what did they do? You tell me. I can't tell you. But hey, if Nikke is happy with this, then Nikke is happy with this. But I'm telling you guys, I'm not. But you guys let me know what you think. I'm so upset about Milk, because Milk is like the character who needed it the most. I feel like Drake, Miranda, and even Helm were still somewhat used in today's age. Not like often, but like Milk was never touched. No, the only people who used Milk were the people who had to, because they had nobody else. But other than that, Milk was not being used. So it's a bit unfortunate. But you guys let me know. Your boy Zxous, I'm out. Peace.